You have, I would say it's the coolest one of these in Ireland.
This is only, they're only rolled like, don't look too close.
So the extra lowness, the wife's car is a little bit off, is because there's a fucking engine for my March in the back of this. Look at this little fucking baby. Wish to get the sick free oil cab. Right, let's bring her over next to her friend. It is 5:56 on Sunday morning, and yeah, we're meeting a guy called Enda at the shed. Off we go into the darkness of a winter morning. Gotta see this little Micra that Enda has. I'm just filming you, that's it. It's pretty fucking random, so. Unreal. You're the first person now to be filmed with my new lens because I'm sick of the fisheye. Enda, what's happening?
Right, well, on my way back from Wales with
Hang on, right, let's explain the whole thing. This is so random. Okay, a guy called Andrew French messaged me a couple of days ago. Well, he was trying to get in contact with me, but my phone was turned off, and he was trying to sell me a 1.3 engine for my sad March, which is fucking living out there in the dark. And then you were over in Wales.
I was over in Wales with my girlfriend for the Christmas, and he messaged me saying, will I bring an engine back to Ireland? But try. So I was over there for my Christmas holidays, and the thing is full of fucking clothes and everything. But I said, what engine is it like? And he's like, oh, it's a CG13. He's like, it's for your man at Juicebox. I was like, oh, fuck it, like. So I said, wouldn't even another K11 Irish owner stock, like. So
oh, man. And then you just messaged me, and I was like, I think I kind of know that guy. His name sounds familiar. I think it was your brother down here before. Yeah, and he was telling me about he put me on to your car. You were a fucking legend, because this is really out of the way for you, kind of. This is a load of shit, like. You got off the boat at what time this morning, like fucking.
Well, it started, she lives in Camrose, so I went from Camrose, which is pretty much where the ferry is.
Yeah.
It's Fishguard. So from Fishguard all the way up to Bristol, which is about fucking a 3-hour drive, and then we got there, and well, it was still in the car. It was supposed to be out of, like.
Yeah, I heard he texted me saying you had to pull it out of the car, and then it was a race against time.
My girlfriend had to be back for her night shift.
Oh, Jesus,
so we had
man.
time for that. So then, by the time fucking loaded into the car, I didn't even know, because I don't know what they weigh, like. But I thought it'd be fucking, I don't know. But then, like, I was thinking it was a case of I could have put it in the back, and the wheels would be hitting the arches then the whole way home, and I didn't want. I was lucky enough; it worked out fine. Like, came home then, she went straight to work. I packed up my shit, fucking filled the car with petrol, and then drove to the ferry. Fucking boarded the ferry about 11:45.
So you haven't slept.
I haven't slept.
You drove through the night, basically, down to the shed. I haven't slept either, because I stayed up all night making a video. So both of us have just, we're at the shed at like 6 in the morning.
Since fucking 9 o'clock yesterday.
Oh, man. Right, let's see your car, right?
Yeah. Right, so
this is fucking unbelievable, right? So you have, I would say it's the coolest one of these in Ireland. It's pretty fucking badass, man.
It's kind of tatty because it's daily driven.
Well, yeah, but it is amazing, like.
But everything that's done to it has been done by myself. Like I said, when I fucking started working on it, like, I'd fucking, if I was trying to take off a wheel, I'd nearly tighten the bolts the wrong way. Like,
I know the feeling,
just fucking, you don't really know until you start, like.
So is it an Irish one or a Jap one?
It's an Irish one.
Because you couldn't get insured on a Jap one, wasn't it?
The situation in Ireland, you can't, like, anything with insurance, especially for younger. Because I got it when I was young. I was just 20. I always had a soft spot for them, but I couldn't insure one as my first car. I bought it off an older lady in Port She had it for about 10 years. Paid €250 for it. It was up for parts or repair or whatever. It wasn't listed as like a car for sale, but it had a month of NC left. I said, fuck it, like, if it has 1 month left, it can't be too bad. I said I was kind of in and out of jobs at that time, and I hadn't much money, but I just really, really wanted one. So I said I hopped on that then, and then it's been my daily drive ever since. That was about 3 years ago now.
That's great, man. And I've seen it evolve. I've seen pictures of it pop up and stuff, and recently you got these Mark 1s.
I got them.
Or did you get them
from a guy in France?
Wow, right.
So
I seen a set pop up for sale. What size are they? 14s?
They're 14.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah.
They're on adapters, because.
So they're 4x114.
4x114. The problem is, well, long story short, like, I'm apprentice. I'm an apprentice plumber, so money isn't.
Oh, of course, man. Jesus.
So, to get a set of 4x100, which I wanted to.
I know.
I had like, you know, obviously there was a set of super beds in our shed when I first started. They were mad wide. Then I got the alley cats. They actually did look good on it as well.
Yeah.
But I've always.
I'm the same. The dream was always I have 4x114 adapters, and then I was going to run like smaller size 8.6 wheels. I often thought about drilling the hubs, but I don't think there's enough meat on the hubs to drill them.
I know with some cars you can obviously do hub conversion and stuff.
Yeah.
But these there isn't. The price for 4x100 ones were to get.
It's big money, man.
It's big money, like. So I said they're only 14x6.
Yeah.
So they're kind of undesired, like.
They're actually quite well. Like, have you done any flaring or anything? That's standard.
They're only rolled like.
So the extra lowness, the wife's car is a little bit off. It's because there's a fucking engine for my March in the back of this, and it's pre-facelift. So this car is a 02. So for anyone that knows about these, the facelift kicked in around like mid '97, I think, in Japan, maybe here as well. I'm not 100%.
Phase 1 grille and it's a G-sharp front bumper.
Deadly.
But I've always wanted the square plate.
Yeah.
If you get it's called the Super S. You have
the Super S.
the rectangle plate holder, but
it
doesn't look right like so.
And then they're like little fucking DTM cup mirrors.
Yeah, they're off E30.
Deadly.
BMW. The side skirts are off Mitsubishi Space Star.
Fuck. I'm jealous, man, because this is what I really wanted to do with mine, but then I got carried away. I saw all the N1 cars. These were mass produced and they were everywhere here. And they're actually after disappearing over the last 2 years because rust and our annual inspection are really after taking a lot of these off the road. But this was a car that either grannies or first time drivers drove. So to make people like this stuff, it almost makes them feel a bit uncomfortable because people got... You really do.
To make them stand out.
Yeah.
I said the mid spoiler is a EK4.
No way.
Mid spoiler. You can is it?
Yeah, that is fucking great.
You can get there is mid spoilers for them, but it'll cost them twice the price I paid for the car.
And that's a Nismo replica rear. Yeah, savage. And then it's a March S rear bumper as well. Then, or
that's actually a Super S1.
Super S1.
The only difference is if you have the G-sharp rear, there's a little indent for your hand to go under.
Yeah.
So simple things like that.
Fuck.
But
I like the extra knowledge you're laying on me. That's good. Man, I love your car. I really do. I know it's fucking 6 o'clock in the morning and we're talking way too much because you want to go home to bed and I'm going to go back to bed. But I'm buzzing. I had a feeling it was you when I saw the fucking name. Yeah, it's pretty cool that you have delivered an engine in this. And what's great is you recently, or it wasn't recently, it was probably a while ago now, but there's a bit of a surprise under the hood. So it's a CGA 3. That's fucking... So this, this is a 1.4 conversion. Your brother was saying that you just fucking chanced on with it to see what happened.
Because as I said, it's my only car, so I said you can go some say the distributor engines are better because you can mess with timing and all that. The problem is, I said I need it for work on Monday morning. I had to roll it into the shed on Friday and I had to come out Monday. So I said I wanted something plug and play. Like I said, probably could have changed the loom, but it's something I've never done, so I'm not going to pretend I know how to do it. So I said, fuck it. That I know they were plug and play, so.
Did you keep your standard ECU as well?
Standard
your brother was
ECU.
saying that you just plugged it in, it just worked.
Plugged it in and that was it. First start, there wasn't even. It started quicker, but the 1 litre was high miles and everything.
Yeah.
It was blow by and everything. But you drove the fucking shit. Like any Micra.
Yeah, exactly.
But that was a 30,000 mile engine, and it was obviously it's a bit dirty now, man,
don't fucking
it doesn't skip a beat, and
where'd you get that? Who made the manifold then?
That's a Gen Speed manifold.
Really?
So there's a guy in England, Matt Humphreys.
Right, yeah.
He specialised.
How much were they then?
I want to work out at. I have a catalogue thing there. I'm not sure. I think it was about 5 in or around.
Okay, right.
But it goes to the midsection.
I've made you talk way more than you want to at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's take this engine out and then I will fucking leave you go on your way. I didn't mean to drag you into a feature of your car at this hour of the morning because it would be nicer to do it when it's cleaner and stuff, but you've driven, quite the distance and you are sad that it's slightly dirty and this is when you will end up on a YouTube video. But
one time,
your car is awesome, man. I love the fact that you fucked the 1.3 into it and drove all the way to the shed at this hour of the morning. So I'm forever in your debt. That's pretty badass, man. Right, let's fucking hang on and I slightly document this with my other crappy bride seat that I bought off Yahoo. I owe you, Look at this little fucking baby. Wish to get the sick free oil cab. I actually have a nice 5Z one. That looks slightly fancy. Right, so this was actually in a car. It looks like somebody had I'd never even seen it. I just bought it sight unseen.
Yeah. They come in the Super S's or some of the other 1.3s.
I wonder what did this come out of?
Figaro. He had it swapped into
No
Figaro.
fucking way.
Yeah.
Right. I wonder if, I hope it's not a heap of shit. I bought it completely sight unseen, so.
He was pretty confident with it, so.
Okay then, well he has to be, or otherwise he will be tarnished forever.
But it was for his own project. Like,
Right. Right, let's bring her over next to her friend. Another one.
But,
I love that you like transported an engine in the back of this with your whole life in as well.
geez, that's it, like fucking.
It's great, man. Your car is fucking like got plenty of character. I like that. You know what I mean? It's like this is your first car, was it? So it's like,
Yeah, I call it my first
Yeah.
car, like, but it's fucking, it's rough in all the right places, I think, because it's ribbon, like.
don't worry about it. We've got a shed full of stuff that's rough in all the right places. That's what we enjoy.
But I said, not a corner of Ireland I haven't been in.
But the fact that you drive to Wales to your missus and then back again in it, it's great. Like,
Yeah, I know, I fucking.
excellent commitment to the K11. You can't ever get rid of this.
No, I couldn't.
Even if you like eventually like, you know, level up to the super cool club car, because most people don't get it. They're just like, why do you still care about your K11? And it's like, you just don't get it.
But it's, as I said, like, it's getting rough
Yeah.
underneath now and stuff, as they do.
Yeah, and so is mine, yeah.
It's high miles and there's panels, like I said, the fucking rear quarters are pushed in
Yeah.
places. But it's the sentimental value, I think, which I don't know, some people get, some people don't. But
Mm.
I couldn't transfer everything, even if it looked the same.
And they've gotten, because they've evaporated off our roads over the last year, I've really noticed it driving up and down to work. They used to be everywhere. Like when I first got mine, they were everywhere. There's barely any for sale anymore. They've just gotten so fucking rare. I think like lads just took them all for hot rodding, or they've just all been scrapped.
Is it, you think they're common until you go looking for one to buy one.
Yeah,
That's what I
they've
I was
vanished.
like, oh, Micra, they're everywhere. I'm going to get one now. And I said the only requirement I wanted was to have NCT so I could insure it on the spot and
Yeah.
start driving it from there. Like I said, I wasn't going to be able to. At that time when I was buying it, I wasn't going to afford to transport it back, get
Yeah.
one with NCT and stuff. As I said, I needed that on the spot. So bought it and then transferred my insurance, and that was it. Ever since, been driving it since. It's never missed a beat. I don't think I've ever even heard the thing fucking misfire either. It's had that. So.
Yeah, it's fucking a very charming looking car, man. You've done an excellent job. I admire it. I really appreciate that you've put effort into doing one of these, because there's not many people that would do one of these in Ireland.
Yeah.
It's hard for people to understand it outside of Ireland, but like just Irish people just kind of turned their noses at the Micra over the years, and I always saw them as untapped potential. And there has been some cool ones here over the years, but like they are few and far between.
I think they're kind of like the next generation's. I don't know if you'd say like, I know like you can't compare them to like a GT Starlet or something.
Yeah.
But do you know what I mean? It says
Yeah.
there's no petrol cars that kind of young people can have on the road. that
No, not really.
have-
We literally had
aftermarket parts.
we had a very similar conversation with my younger brother, because he's just turned 20 and he had a really, really hard time getting insured, but I managed to get him a Vitz and he got insured on it. So, and now he's going down the rabbit hole. He's bought all the parts and he's been slowly collecting them, and he's waiting till he gets his full license then, and we're going to do it, like fucking do a full conversion on it. Yeah. He's inspired by the race look thing that we've done.
No, they're another product. I have a mad soft spot for them as well.
So do I, like, yeah.
No, it's just the small.
I don't know how he got insured on a Vitz. It's down as like a Yaris, I think, because it's his first car, and they were just like, yeah, no problem, like with access. So I don't know.
Yeah. 'Cause anytime I rang up about Marches, they have them down as just Nissan or
Yeah.
they're imported. So that just sounds, it could be a March or it could be a Silvia in there.
Yeah,
Like, you know,
they just don't give a shit, like.
Yeah.
Man, I love the car. Enda, you're forever a fucking legend in my books for doing this for me. You've no idea. I owe you one, and I mean it. You can fucking you can call me for something, and like I will. I promise you. Like the fact that you did that drive and it's like super early. I'm gonna stop talking now. I don't know how I'm this kind of. I think I'm just excited, but I'm gonna let both of us go on our way now in a minute. And it's been a pleasure. It's been an unexpected pleasure to actually see your car in real life, and the fact that you use it as a drug mule for a CG13 is pretty epic. Tearing through the night.
That's it, like another great story.
Fucking Micra bandit here. Oh. Hey! And you've pretty much been the biggest legend in the world. Thank you so much for calling down at 6 a.m, driving all the way from fucking Wales, collecting the engine and dropping it off at the shed, and both of us meeting very early and somehow finding enthusiasm to stay awake and get excited about Micras and Marches, which we have. You've let me drive it. You've produced a gem out of the rear of it for me, and Yeah, you're a fucking legend, man. Thank you so much.
Spot on. Thanks for having me.
And I'm going to leave you go back to Clare now and go home to bed. You probably won't sleep now.
Oh, fucking no. I'm sleeping on the way home, really.
You're a fucking legend, man.
Oh, spot on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Here's a staged goodbye. Nah, only messing. All the rest of the merch arrived. There it is. Boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes. So it was like wishful thinking that this would be put together quicker, but there's actually quite a bit of stuff there. So we're going to start shipping from tomorrow. We are. Thanks for your patience, lads. We will get through it.
We've lots of work to do.
Lots of work to do. There's loads of it. But yeah, for anyone that's been asking, we will learn from this one the timeline of how long it will take to make everything and do stuff.
Empty boxes.
Imagine they were all just empty and it was a prop.
Cool.
But we have quite a bit of stuff. Yeah, quite a bit of stuff. So hoodies, t-shirts, everything. It's all here. Cheers, guys. Thank you for your patience, and yeah, you'll see your stuff pretty soon. Brilliant.